help us to talk through the different ways that we normalize trauma and the different ways that we ignore trauma and the different ways that we try to push it away or cover it up. How are, I'm sure everybody thinks about drugs and alcohol, but we subtly ignore trauma all day, every day. So how can we look it more in the face, bring it more into our consciousness on a regular basis so that we don't necessarily end up in these deep traumatic ruts?
Remember, trauma sets in motion unconscious belief systems that perpetuate the system in the sense that we seek then similar situations because we hope unconsciously to resolve it in that situation. So this little girl then marries a man who's similar to her father because unconsciously he activates that which is cut off in her, and she deeply wants to mend that. So she hopes that the man that she marries changes to what she always wanted her father to change to. So therefore, the longing there is the changing of the man so it can soothe her inner experience, you see? So to answer your question is, we are all feeling directly the impact of being separated from our own wholeness. This is palpable in our bodies. If you sit down quietly with most people and you let in a private room where nobody can hear them, and you simply ask them about their internal experience, most people will say, I feel stuck. I feel dead. I feel heavy. I feel disconnected, right? So, I mean, we can come up with probably how many words that would describe being separate from wholeness. All of those are symptomatic of that experience, you understand? So we have to see that all of the symptoms point in the same direction. So yes, we can sit here and talk about all the millions of ways that we as human beings try to return back to our wholeness, right? But it doesn't work. It always fails.
And why does it always fail?
Because it's coming from the beginning assumption that there's something wrong with me and I'm going to fix that somehow externally. Mm. Mm-hmm. Nobody ever has resolved that internal space through a person, object, or experience. All of those could be doorways. And I always say experience is a doorway because, once you pay attention long enough in life and you get a little bit of wisdom underneath your belt, you start to realize that life is thematic in the sense that we keep repeating these themes all over and over again in our workplace, in our relationships, with our friends, in our hobbies. It's not like all of a sudden we carry a different self. Do you know what I mean? The same negative perception of ourselves walks into the gym, walks into the bedroom, walks into the job, walks in to deal with the kid, goes to the grocery store. It's that it doesn't go away. It's like the shadow of the negative self-perception is always the shadow everywhere with us. It doesn't go away. So that's what has to get resolved, not the techniques that we use to resolve that. It's not so interesting. They're all understandable. As Gabor Mate always says, he understands every way that we attempt to resolve this trauma, all with love and compassion that we do it. We all have tried and have failed.